I'm getting personal, and I let myself know I won't do this, yet you understand what an old buddy of Dick that has known me for quite some time just called me and said, Kev, anything that excursion you need right now. I see your development, I see your enthusiasm, I see an individual I never knew before continue to go. I am separated from the circumstance you won't pull off attempting to pull off having two families, you grimy lowdown canine. Clutch your seats, people, since we have some dramatization blending in the realm of Wendy Williams and her ex-hubby Kevin Tracker. Prepare for the truly delicious showdown. No one truly saw coming that is correct. Kevin Tracker is going to release his wrath subsequent to being totally removed by his solitary sugar mom Wendy Williams. Prepare for a standoff that would blow anyone's mind as these two ex-lovebirds go head-to-head in a clash of mysteries, disloyalty, and vengeance. Lock and snatch some popcorn since it's Kevin Tracker versus Wendy Williams. And the gloves are certainly off yet. Before we get into it, try to offer the video a go-ahead and buy into Never Pass Up any new recordings. It's free and assists us with hugely bringing out new satisfied for your happiness. We should rewind briefly back in 2019. Our #1 moderator, Wendy Williams, dropped a significant stunner. She petitioned for legal separation from her better half of 22 years, Kevin Tracker. Why, you ask? Well, it just so happens Kevin was associated with a swindling embarrassment that Wendy just couldn't disregard. And this is the way the lady figured out a late-night call and some surreptitious murmuring. You see, I had proactively had the child. So when you convey a child, the mother doesn't get a lot of rest. At any rate, little Kev could have been, 1 month old, like straight from the emergency clinic. Thus. And I wasn't back to work yet, so I was mother, just mother, awakening the entire evening. And you realize I heard some oily talk from the following room. Who is he conversing with? So you realize I tipped. And I put in, and I heard what I heard, and I resembled wow oak. So this is the way it's going down, and I read about it in the web journals and tabloids. The location of this spot that he had bought to impart to his woodlands, bit 9 miles from my home in Livingston, and she was truly harmed. And no one again to converse with. I was unable to call my mother, my father, my sister. They would have quite recently said, leave. I'm similar to yet. I'm still enamored. I don't have the foggiest idea what to do. Like, are you serious with this? Is truly going down? This is going down, yet stand by. There's more. A succulent new report has spilled the tea on how Wendy was formerly doing whatever it takes to totally eliminate Kevin from her life. You see, not exclusively was he her significant other, yet he additionally assumed the parts of her chief colleague, and surprisingly, the leader maker of the Wendy Williams show. TMZ. The Tattle Masters have within scoop. As per TMZ sources, Wendy began the method involved with unraveling herself from Kevin even before she authoritatively sought legal separation. Might you at any point accept it? She's as of now taken actions to reduce most, if not all, connection with him. How, you ask? Well, hang on close, since this is where it gets fascinating. Word on the road is that Wendy felt free to sign a rent for an extravagant new home in NYC, also known as New York City. And get this, she's not trying things out, she's committed for the long stretch. Wendy has felt free to pay the lease for the entire darn a year. Well, that is what I call a new beginning. She even said how she would rather not get stung again. I realize I'm not back to the young lady that I was before him, since when you get stung like that you never return to who you are. Just a moron. Really does yet hold up what might be said about the old conjugal home Wendy and Kevin partook in old-fashioned New Jersey. Well, it seems like things got changed there too. Over the Easter weekend, a slippery columnist from dailymail.com got a moving truck left external. The house, what do you believe, was continuing. Definitely, you got it. Kevin was seen pulling boxes out of the house, appeared as though he was raising a ruckus around town. Gracious. And that is not all. Our young lady Wendy has gone full on supervisor mode. With regards to her funds, she has a group of specialists working energetically to guarantee your cash is no problem at all, and her fans there to help her through it. Sure, my dad needed to punch Kevin out, for you know the elderly person that he is. Nevertheless, you realize this is what fathers maintain, that should would this is what siblings and kin like to do. And here's the clincher, Wendy is causing a ruckus in her expert life too. She's an authoritatively shown Kevin the entryway, as her director and leader maker Tianzi reports that she's as of now on the chase after new ability to fill those jobs. Seems to be Wendy's beginning another section by and by, as well as expertly you go young lady. I mean, the man had the daringness to cheat and parade her, no big surprise she's pissed, you know, it's retrogressive Barbie. Yet you realize he was deceiving up cash. She's in the front seat of my Rolls-Royce Ferrari. And you realize I mean ridiculously. So there you have it, parents. Wendy Williams is taking actions, leaving Kevin Tracker in the residue and assuming responsibility for her life. She has another home, her funds in lockdown, an upper vamp group to assist her with vanquishing the syndicated program world. We can hardly stand by to see what she has available for us next. And hang on, people, on the grounds that the situation starts to get interesting in the Wendy Williams and Kevin Tracker adventure. We have some insider scoop that will make your jaw drop. It appears to be that when Wendy began making this large number of conclusive moves, Kevin was hit with a flood of dread and lament, more than ever, as per a believed source who let the cat out of the bag to individuals. Kevin Tracker is at long last grappling with the greatness of his mix-ups. He's taken a serious, practically dismal position and is making an honest effort to sort out what comes next in his life. Might you at any point envision the heaviness of disappointment looming over his head? You see it first when Wendy and Kevin chose to head out in a different direction. They arrived at an arrangement that he may as yet be your supervisor. Yet here's where things get truly fascinating. Wendy found out about new photographs showing Kevin traipsing in and out of town with his supposed paramour. And you understand what she did. She assumed control over issues and totally cut him off. Yes, she shut down accounts, shut entryways, and left him with nothing since that critical choice. The source uncovers that Wendy and Kevin have positively no reach. Maybe they exist in totally various universes now. And here's the kicker, Wendy, our savage daytime, has made plainly she doesn't have anything to tell him. Boof. Yet stand by, there's more. Another insider spilled tea to individuals, uncovering a staggering disclosure. Obviously, Wendy knew practically nothing about Kevin's mysterious undertaking up to this point. Might you at any point trust it yet? When she at last found the stunning subtleties, it hit her with a crushing weight. It just so happens Kevin had been engaged with the lady mother of his kid for a marvelous 15 to 16 years. And she even discussed it later. You realize unfaithfulness is one thing, a full child is an entire nother subject. Oak. No doubt. I mean, you said in the New York Times magazine, I'm an extremely sympathetic individual. Yet there's one thing I would never be a piece of. And that one thing happened, goodness, wow. And that was all there was to it. No doubt the child did it. A child. I'm not changing spoils. I need to be spoiled. Definitely high. The insider likewise shed light on the profound battle Wendy faces. After all, they were hitched for seemingly an unfathomable length of time and have a family together. It's no simple errand to just continue on anyway. Wendy had a revelation. She understood that she had been residing in a poisonous marriage and that the time had come to break free. Is a typical snare that such countless individuals fall into, staying close by when they ought to have left a very long time prior. Later, in a proclamation given to individuals last week, Tracker at last ended his quiet with regards to this issue. He conceded that he was not glad for my new activities and offered a genuine conciliatory sentiment to his better half, his family, and Wendy's unbelievable fans. It was a snapshot of reflection and lament. As he understood the gravity of his errors during this period, Tracker set out on an excursion of self-reflection, planning to offer to set things right and right the wrongs that he had committed. He recognized that no matter what the result or the future, they were as yet the Tracker family. Tracker promised to keep supporting Wendy in her expert undertakings. And through any difficulties she looked while embracing her newly discovered temperance. Simultaneously, he recognized the need to chip away at his very own development. Yet that is not even the finish of the dramatization. Currently, we should rewind a cycle. Further, this split happened during a difficult time for Wendy, as she took a drawn-out break from her cherished show. The Wendy Williams Show from January to spring anyway. There's one more contoured in this story. In January, a police report, got by individuals, uncovered an amazing occurrence. Officials visited Wendy's New Jersey home in the wake of getting an unknown call charging that Kevin Tracker was harming her. The news at first got through TMZ, leaving everybody paralyzed by the gravity of the case. When stood up to about the stunning harming guarantee, Wendy Williams purportedly became mournful, as recorded in the police report anyway. She immovably denied any reality to the claims and consoled officials that she was protected, with that the officials left their anxiety alleviated. While Wendy hasn't straightforwardly tended to the circumstance with Kevin Tracker on her show, she shared an individual disclosure. On air last month, she valiantly unveiled that she had been residing in a clear-headed house, revealing insight into her past battle with cocaine compulsion. It was a weak second that displayed her assets and assurance to conquer her difficulties. And here's the most recent scoop. As of late, Wendy uncovered that she would before long be moving out of the level-headed house, flagging a critical step in the right direction in her excursion. Notwithstanding her own change, she suggested the approaching separation, indicating a totally different life that looked for her and her child. So it seems like Wendy Williams is prepared to leave.